Thanks, Staples. That was easy.
This report.
Because free men and women don't need permission, I welcome you in to this edition of the Breaking Bread radio program right here on Birmingham's Real Talk, Talk 99.5, coming to you live from the Redland Rifle Studios and Redland Rifle Company, Highway 280, just down the street from all them higher prices because you're only paying 5% sales tax. We're in unincorporated Shelby County, so come get you a pew pew or a boom boom to make sure all the things that you love are kept safe and protected. Today's show also brought to you by the fine folks at Vapor Forge, Highway 280, next to Bailey Brothers Music. Great selection, great prices, great service. If you smoked cigarettes for way too long, like I did, stop. Your breath stinks, your clothes stink, you don't breathe as well as you should, and your food don't taste good. It wasn't nearly as good as it should. And if you're eating at Chub Fathers, you want it to taste as good as it can. Put them cigarettes down, try one of them smooth tobacco flavored vapes. Tell them the Chub Father sent you all the information you need at vaporforge.com. AJ, JD, Darian, your man, the Chub Father, and we will be joined soon by Jared Hudson.
That might be him calling in.
To have he's got a very special announcement that he announced earlier, but we get to be the first ones to have him on to talk about it.
Isn't that cool?
Super cool.
I mean, I don't know if we're the first ones. We should ask him.
Well, I mean, we're not. I don't know if we're the first ones,
Pretty close though.
He's
No, we had him.
talking to
Well,
us.
close.
So I'm counting that as a W.
Yeah, he came on
Anyway,
on
you
Leland.
slice it. So
Oh, did he?
No, we're the second then. He came
Yeah,
on Leland.
yeah, well, he came on Leland.
we
That's
top
all
we
right.
top 3.
Yeah.
Are y'all having
What
issues
was
with the
second?
video?
Well, we're on. So,
We're on, but
yeah.
we're not on. We're
But anyway.
on,
Okay.
See us on the stream.
Yeah, but we'll
All
get
right.
that worked out as well. But but we do have Jared on the hotline.
I was.
Go ahead, Will.
Oh, what happened?
No, we hear y'all.
Oh,
What's going on?
Oh, sorry about that. Apparently the audio there was having an issue. So we may actually be out of bandwidth here at the store because Spectrum is absolutely garbage.
Mm.
So,
Ah,
yeah, I think that
yes.
may be because we're pushing a lot of stuff right now, especially bringing
Take
in.
that Spectrum.
Yeah.
Do better.
Where is the fiber for crying out
Oh,
loud?
man.
I don't know.
It's in
but
your
I
cereal.
I took my 4
It was
fiber pills this
definitely-
morning.
Did you?
Definitely
Yeah.
you serious.
I just bought a new. I just re-upped. If you need me to bring some fiber in, I can.
Do you got that long of a cable?
I take 4 to 6 every morning.
Oh.
Mm.
I see what you did there. I was clearly in a different spot.
Helps.
He was
Me too.
definitely-
That's why I had to
Yeah.
start taking it. I needed to
Absolutely.
be I needed to be more regulated.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we may just have, black squares for the stream today
Mm.
because I can see everybody trying to join, but it just keeps popping in and out. So it is what it. I mean, how are we on Highway 280 and we don't have fiber internet here?
The same way that all of the traffic lights don't sync up and run congruently like they're supposed to
So dumb.
and stuff. So I didn't get to talk to y'all yesterday because I was feeling ill, and you guys so graciously handled it. But is everybody familiar with the Jeep Wave? You know what I'm talking about?
Like
You
the
said-
peace sign.
did you say
No,
Jeep
like when
wave?
people in Jeeps pass other people in Jeeps, they like wave at each other.
Yeah, kind of like motorcycle riders
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's a thing in golf cart communities as well that you like wave. You know what I'm saying? As you're
And how do
passing
you do
each
the
other.
wave? Like, what's
You-
the wave look like?
You just do a friendly little you can toss up the kind of like the 2 fingers, the peace sign. Sometimes you can do the fingers and the thumb. But I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Okay, so a lot of times in lake communities and beach communities, there's the whole thing with the upside down pineapples and all these other symbols to denote that you have a bit of an alternative lifestyle as it relates to
Okay.
your husband and your wife. There's some things that
You
kinda,
like to share.
Like a
You like
pineapple?
to share.
Yeah, like you like
Yeah,
to
you
share.
like to
Oh,
share.
wow.
Gotcha.
Like
Yeah,
you like to
okay.
swing.
share.
So
You
like
like to swing your way and my way.
yeah, so like the first day that we were down there, I had on my my red, white, and blue swim trunks with the matching shirt. I mean, the drip was just fantastic for the lake. But
Well, yeah, because you were probably wet because you're
I
in the
got
lake.
I got almost 100% waves. Okay.
Good job, JD.
All right, I got almost 100% waves. The next day, I changed into another outfit with some pink swing trunks. They got some pineapples on them and just like a green shirt. And I dropped to I was probably only averaging about like a 20% wave from all the people I passed. So I didn't know. Do y'all think I should have been offended? I mean, clearly Stephanie and I don't swing. It's not really our thing. But should I be offended that we got left swing? I mean, I feel like we're an attractive couple.
I mean, y'all are beautiful. don't get me wrong, but I mean,
You guys are beautiful.
I mean,
You know? I don't think I
I
would
can see
worry
that
about
hurt
it.
your pride.
You know what
Now
I'm saying?
it depends. Wait a minute, hold on, time out. Who were you waving it to? Was it a bunch of guys?
No,
Was it a mixture?
it's just people who pass in golf carts. You just
So it was
just
couples.
some of them were single, some of them, you know what I'm saying. But
You
they
felt
don't-
the
Okay,
did you feel the disapproval?
well, hold on. But the reason why I'm asking, so I just need to know, were the people that waved at you the second go around, were they couples or were they single individuals by themselves?
well, they were more older couples. Definitely that got the waving. Like I mean, I would have felt some kind of way
older?
like
How much
old,
older?
like old enough that probably had that been something that we decided to partake in, like they would have had to have been gay baths when it was done. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they'd have been, they'd
that's
have been,
nasty.
You know
they'd
what?
have been-
I
they'd
don't
have
think
been
our I don't think our guess is what it is.
Right.
Well, y'all kept dragging it out. So at any rate, the
Well, I
next
mean, you
day,
brought it up. I mean, I didn't know where this was going.
But I wasn't finished. So the next day, when I changed my outfit again, you know what I'm saying, for the lake, I didn't have the pineapples and whatnot on, and we were back up to nearly 100% waves. So I'm thinking that these people were thinking, because I had my pineapple swim trunks on, that I was soliciting somehow,
So you just found out
They did.
20% of the people around you are swingers.
and they didn't want to wave back. So, like,
Yeah.
I'm just
That's
wondering
an
if y'all think I
interesting
should be
way of finding out.
offended that, even though the other
No.
80% of people weren't interested, they could have still been polite.
No, I don't think
No,
that. Now,
no,
here's the
yeah,
thing. Did they give you the same hand gesture? When you waved at them with your pineapple pants, shorts on.
The ones who waved it was more like a fish shaky type movement, which was a little terrifying.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just didn't know if I should be if I should feel offended that we dropped
you
from
shouldn't feel
100%
offended.
waves to only 20%
No.
waves.
You shouldn't feel offended.
If I was just giving
because
off those vibes.
I don't think you should feel
shouldn't
offended. Go ahead, Darren.
because you had the Golden Girls and husbands disapproval.
I mean,
think you
if
should
the
feel-
girl looked like Blanche from the Golden Girls, then maybe
yeah, possibly. But if it was Dorothy or Sophia, I think you'd be good. Or Rose,
Yeah.
I think you'd be
Yeah,
good.
I think you're probably good. You shouldn't be offended. But I do think that this is probably a good time to keep things moving. What do you think, AJ?
I think so. CrockerMovingServices.com. CrockerMovingServices.com. I know Eric is like, yes, I'm so glad you used this time to talk about my company. Well, look, if you need a good moving company because there's some swingers in your neighborhood and you want to
come
go ahead
on
and
now.
move, go ahead and reach out to the moving professionals. They can go ahead and move you. Matter how big or small the move is, they can get the job done. Great background checks on everyone that works for them. And look, this ain't for the weak. This ain't somebody where you got soft hands and you just like, I can't lift this up. No, they make sure that who they hire is going to do the job and do the job right. And that's one thing you're going to like about Eric Crocker. And he's not just one of your typical business owners. He'll get on the truck himself and move if he has to. So, look, that's the type of business you want to do business with. So, when you're ready to make that move, reach out to the moving professionals, CrockerMovingServices.com, CrockerMovingServices.com. All right, so y'all want to go to our guests?
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All
do it.
right. All right, Jared Hudson. Hey, man, appreciate you calling us here on Breaking Bread. I know you got some exciting news. I know you were on Leland live, and you kind of mentioned it, but the floor is yours.
Well, what's up, fellas? How you doing?
Man, we good, man. We on
Better
top
than
of the
average,
world.
man.
Yeah, I've been super excited to have this conversation for a minute. So I'm very excited that it is here.
Yes.
Well, awesome, man. I'm excited to be talking to y'all. I'm literally just getting out of the truck, walking in the door at the house. Got dogs barking in the background. Got kids outside running through the yard. So it's been a full tilt day. But, yeah, man, I'm running for U.S. Senate. How about that?
Yes,
There
sir.
you go.
Let's
Come
go.
on now.
Oh, it's
Let's
too
go.
far away
It's
that
too
we
far.
got
Man,
we got our we're gonna need to get
You know what? I'm
a
getting
stick.
out.
All right, do it. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. That's outstanding, man. That just it is really really cool.
It's super cool.
I can't imagine the lead up to all of this.
How are you feeling about it? How's the family feeling about it? I mean, clearly this isn't a decision that you made without a lot of prayer and talking to the family and
Man,
whatnot.
the biggest thing is the wife is obviously extremely supportive of it. She's the one who kind of said that, hey man, this is what we got to do, and so that's the first thing that you got to knock down is make sure the wife's on board with it. So with her being on board, we've been, I would say 2, maybe 3 months, probably not quite 3 months. We've been going through this process. We've been trying to, kind of find all the red lights we can and haven't found anything but green lights from people here in Alabama all the way to Washington, D.C. And it's been a process, guys. So
I can only imagine. Okay, so the decision, and I'm sure that they don't even compare, but can you give us some idea about the gravity of the decision when you decided you were going to run for sheriff and then deciding to run for Senate? Is there some extra butt puckering that goes along with just what am I getting myself into?
I mean, yeah, there is, anybody who knows me knows that, that I'm a born again believer in the person of Jesus Christ, right? So I'm a Christian. And so that's the first thing that I do is I pray about something. I seek the Lord, and then I ask my wife what she's thinking in the process. She prays about it. She seeks the Lord. And honestly, when I feel like God's moving me to something, yeah, there might be a little bit of puckering, but nah, man. I mean, it's just when it's right, it's right, and you just move forward with it. So there is always the nervousness of anything new, but I can't say that it's been too nerve-wracking. It's just been time-consuming. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense. So in the process of making this decision, you said you consulted the father above, and then you said you consulted your wife. Now that you've gotten confirmation from both, what is your mindset as you get ready to take on this task?
Man, that's a great question. It's I would think my headspace, and that's what I like to call it when you say mindset, is in a good spot. But the biggest thing is that this is going to be it's going to be a battle. We've got to raise money. We've got to get support. We got to continue to stay out there. But the biggest thing is it's service, and that's what my wife said. She said, you've got to do this. You got to serve. We're serving the state of Alabama. Especially running for Senate, but not just running for Senate, being a U.S. Senator. It is a service-oriented thing, just like what I did in the SEAL teams, and it's not political ambition. So many people want to step into this thing for political ambition, and that's not what it's about. It is service-oriented, and that's where your headspace has got to be. That's where my headspace is how can I help the people of the state of Alabama and the United States of America and bring what they need to Washington, D.C., and not the other way around.
Definitely like what you just said, but we're going to take this break real quick, and then we get on the other side. We got more questions. We definitely going to be asking you, Jared Hudson, getting into the Senate race, making his announcement today and here on Breaking Bread. And 205-545-9950 if you have a question, or you can text us there as well, too. Also at 205-44-BREAD. You're listening to Breaking Bread right here on Talk 99.5.
You're listening to
All right, the music's playing. Whether Jared knows it or not, it's time for 5 things with Jared Hudson, candidate, date for U.S. Senate. We're super excited. Who's going first? JD, why don't you throw the first question his way?
You know what? I'd appreciate it if you went first.
Okay. Jared, how do you think that the time and the training that you received in the military is going to cross the lines to help you with this battle that you're getting ready to fight? And it is a battle, because the devil's going to come at you crazy hard.
Crazy.
Oh man, it's already started. I mean, it's literally already started today, the day we announce, and there's already stuff that's hitting the wire. But with that being said, I don't know that the training I experienced in the military does anything to get you ready for this. But what it does is it proves that you're a resilient person, and for some people, it makes you a resilient person. I mean, some of y'all have been through military training on this show, right? And I don't know, have all of y'all might have served for that matter. But either way, it prepares you for the hits that you might get. It thickens your skin up. But I would say the biggest thing is not just this race, but also this seat. One of the things I've been saying is we got to send a warrior to Washington. And by sending a warrior to Washington, what I mean is you've got a lot of people that say they're fighters or say they're warriors, but they're not. I've actually fought combat for this country. I've had buddies die overseas. I've killed people overseas on behalf of this nation. I would say that is something that's prepared me for the gravity of this position, which is a position that should stand for the people and be a representative of the people of the state of Alabama, and not just, selfish ambition.
Beautiful. Beautiful. AJ?
All right. So, what made you decide to actually say, you know what, I want to run for the seat?
Yeah, I guess really, to be honest with you, I was just asked by some supporters and donors to our, nonprofits and people that have supported me in a lot of the things I've done. I was asked a couple of months ago by them if I would consider running when Coach steps down to run for governor, because they were in a meeting where Coach said he was looking at running for governor. And that kind of put it in my head. And, here we sit now. I talked to my wife about it. We started praying about it. I mean, we had no idea how to start this. We got a campaign team in place. We have everything set up. Federal election law is very it was new to me. I didn't know all the rules and regulations. So from attorneys to political consultants to meeting with people in Washington, D.C. and in Alabama that know the deal. I mean, it's been a process, and me and my wife tried to knock it down every step of the way, but it kept standing back up. And so we're like, well, I guess this is what we're supposed to do. So that's really the process.
Yep. There you go. All right. Darian?
Okay. So you're referring to Coach Tommy Tubberville, who is the current senator of the state of Alabama. So I'm going to kind of throw a football-style question at you.
All right.
What is your plan of attack, or what is your offensive or defensive strategy if you do get elected to Senate?
I would say just, an easy offensive or defensive strategy, 30,000-foot overview. Number one, the Trump administration is doing everything they can to reverse a lot of crazy policies and things that took place in the Biden administration. And, when you're one of 100, you can be very effective at impacting that. So, I want to be a force multiplier for not just the Trump administration, but the U.S. Constitution, upholding the U.S. Constitution, and I just believe that this administration is doing it. So that would be the easiest thing, is be a force multiplier for what the executive branch is doing, and I believe that they're
I don't want to cut you off, Jared, because we got to take this hard break, but we'll finish more on that on the other side. It's Breaking Bread Talk 995.
My name is Rhonda Dial.
Craig and Keith and the team at Birmingham Broker wants you to know if you're looking to get out of your current vehicle and into something else, don't go to the car dealership and get offered less than you deserve. Just go to bhambroker.com, fill out some information, have a consultation, hand them the keys, come to an agreement, sit back, relax, and they'll sell your car and sell your car fast so you don't have to. It really is that simple. bhambroker.com for more information, bhambroker.com. So JD was getting ready to ask a question, then we got some listeners that have some questions, if that's all right.
So absolutely. So Jared, I imagine you're you said you're at home, so I'm sure the family wants to get some of your time, and again, I appreciate you jumping on here. Kind of two questions. What kind of money does it take to run for Senate? And then the other one, if you don't mind, how does the team at Covenant Rescue Group and the Shooting Institute, how are they taking this?
Yeah, so number one, the type of money that it takes, I started off this thing with somebody saying that, out of Alabama saying you're going to need, 10 to 15 million to win a Senate race in the state of Alabama based on what previous campaigns have spent. I believe Katie Britt's campaign spent $9 million last go around. I don't know that's true. That's just what I've heard. But generally speaking, a Senate race is going to cost, into the millions, probably upwards of $7 to $10 million. So that would be the first thing. The second thing, I was also told, when I went to D.C., met with a couple of different entities, a couple of different senatorial committees and all that, and they were saying, hey, to be a serious candidate, you got to drop, $1 to $1.5 million in the hat, pretty quickly off the bat, and it, whether it's self-funded or whether it's, people donating. And I laughed and I said, well, I'm not the type of guy that can self-fund something like that. I'm just a regular dude. And they said, well, you got to raise it. So that's where we're at now. You've got to raise off of individual donations. You've got to be able to raise about $2 million to have an effective Senate campaign. And then they've got all kinds of other things, super PACs and all that. So it takes a lot of money, which is ridiculous in my mind. But at the same time, it's a big marketing thing. With that being said, Covenant Rescue Group and TSI, the guys are, still blowing and going. They're doing what they do. They honestly don't need me there for a lot of it. Anytime I inject myself, it's just because I enjoy, CQB and shooting and hunting bad guys. So I'll inject myself as the CEO because I can sometimes to have fun. But honestly, they can run that stuff without me. I'm just sort of a mouthpiece most of the time.
That's awesome that you've built that team up over there like that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Man, it's a great team. Now, Stu's got his work cut out for him, but, it's nothing he can't do.
Well, listen, I'll tell you this. I don't have $1.5 million or anywhere close, but I'm going to send as much as we can from the Chubb Fathers Corporation your way and for me personally, just because I believe in you. I'm proud of you, and we really appreciate your continued service.
Man, I appreciate that, and it's funny you say that. What I've been telling people, because I believe in a grassroots movement, if you have 500 people max out $3,500, which is what your max at the federal election level, or if you have 1,000 people give $100, that goes a long way. That's what Covenant Rescue Group has survived on, a grassroots movement, and that's what this election is. It's not the normal system, right? It's not the big monster in Montgomery or in D.C. It's a regular dude who went to war for this country and now wants to go serve in Washington, D.C. so that we can plant trees so our kids in the future can sit in the shade. If that's what you want, then I'm your guy.
Amen.
That's awesome. I can tell you that I don't normally believe people that are running for office, but having met you a few years ago, I absolutely 100% believe that this is not about political aspirations.
100.
I mean,
no, not at all. I mean, if any aspirations I would have, it's definitely not political.
Right.
It's something where you can make a lot more money and have a lot less hassle. I mean, it is hasslesome, but at the same time, the position of a U.S. Senator is a force multiplier. That's the example I've been using. Y'all understand what a force multiplier is, but so your listeners can get it real quick. When I was in the SEAL teams, a machine gun's a force multiplier. It can turn one SEAL. It can take 3 SEALs and put them into one. You give him a machine gun, and he's as valuable as 3 or 4 SEALs, right? And so the position of U.S. Senate is a force multiplier. Now, it can be a force multiplier for good or for bad. And I believe that I can make sure that it's a force multiplier for good. So what I've been telling people is, hey, give a good guy a machine gun. Send me to U.S. Senate.
Man, that's
I definitely like that.
I like that.
I love that.
slogan right there.
We need
Well,
we
let's
need
go to
T-shirts with that.
Give a good guy a machine gun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I definitely want to. We got some calls on hold. I want to ask you some questions, but one thing before we get there, I wanted to ask you real quick, Jared. What keeps you grounded? What motivates you to stay grounded and focus on the path that you're on?
Oh, that's easy. Jesus. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
That's the most important thing about me. It's the only thing that's eternal. And then if you want to look at the physical, the next thing is my wife and my girls. I'm actually standing here in the driveway right now watching some of them drive down the road in their little pink battery-powered Jeep. But
awesome.
just watching them drive away over here. But that being said, my family. So, God, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, number one. But number two, my family, my wife and my girls. If that doesn't keep you grounded, then something's wrong with you.
I agree.
So that's it for me anyway.
I like that. All right.
We got Mike.
Let's go to Mike. He wants to get on this conversation and talk to Jared. Go ahead, Mike.
Sure, we could give you a Bible machine.
Oh. Go ahead, Mike.
I didn't catch what he said.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
We could give you a Bible and a machine gun.
Yes,
There
sir.
you go. They made a movie about a guy like that, a machine gun preacher, I think.
I think so, yes.
Jared, I had a chance to work on your campaign when you ran for sheriff. I was the guy that was actually on Highway 31 with a sign. I think one of your buddies called up that worked at a car dealership. He came out and met me one day. But anyway, we done a lot of good and got a lot of exposure, I guess you could say, during that period. And I'm like, Will, I'll go on record to offer $250, and we need to get 1,000 more people to honor that request also. So there's $250 in your and prayer support.
Well, thank you, brother. I surely appreciate it, and keep growing that and keep getting people to give it. Thank you so much.
Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, Mike.
All right,
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
that,
Thank you, Mike.
I'm fairly certain I saw that gentleman. I'm pretty sure he was at the intersection of 31 and was that 65? A number of
Probably
days.
so.
Excellent.
Probably so.
There you go. Well, I'm glad he supported when we ran for sheriff. And I'll be honest with you, it was my run for sheriff where I was what I like to say the Republican choice and the sheriff runner up. Not the loser, but the sheriff runner up of that race. It was that race that actually led me to this right here. That's the only thing that really got me tied into politics.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
To even make what I'm doing now possible. And, that's how the Lord works sometimes.
I was just getting ready to say, isn't it funny how you think you open a door opens. You have the intestinal fortitude to walk through it and to walk that path to get to a point where the door has closed. And you're like, God, I really thought this is what you wanted me to do. But, we're so focused a lot of times on our time that we aren't necessarily prepared for the bigger and better things that he's preparing us through the closing of one door so that another door can open.
You're exactly right, and that's the way the Lord works. It's just He doesn't ask us to go out and do certain things. He just asks us to be obedient to Him in whatever those things are He's called us to do, and that's what makes the difference.
Absolutely.
Obedience is the hardest part.
Sure.
Obedience is better than
100%.
sacrifice. So I always
That's
remember,
what the Bible tells
yes,
us.
Yeah.
I always remember obedience is better than sacrifice. Now, my question to you, and I want to say we brought you in and interviewed you when you did run for sheriff. But if not, I forgive me on my memory. But my question to you is, for those who, let's say, for those who don't typically vote Republican, how would you swing them towards you?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, whether you vote Republican or not, I'm still your senator. I'm not just the senator, the U.S. senator for the voter. I'm the U.S. senator for the citizen, right? That's the important.
Right.
That's the important part to understand. And even if you don't vote for me as your senator, I'm still your representative. Now, I also believe that it's, we can't argue over the color of the carpet. I'm not going to be able to do something that's going to make every single person happy. But what I would tell people who don't lean to maybe more to the conservative or the right side of the aisle, I guess you could say, is I am a Christian, and I believe what Jesus says, that we need to love the Lord God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. And if you don't believe that, think of it as I love something more than myself.
Right.
I don't ever put myself in the place of God, number one. But number two, love your neighbor as yourself. So I'm at least going to love you the same way that I want to be loved, which means I'll listen. I'll open my ears. I'll open my mind to the things that you have to say to see if, hey, maybe this person I disagree with, maybe they're right, maybe I'm wrong. There's nothing wrong with being open to that. As long as it doesn't interfere with what I know to be true, ultimately in the person of Christ, then, I'm an open book. Let's take a look and see what kind of problems we can fix together. And that's the way we're supposed to live in this society. Oftentimes we don't. We just get caught in our own little rut over here, and we don't want to listen to what anybody else has to say.
Man,
I think as a representative of the people, you can't be that way.
I'm sitting here filled with so much emotion. As a person who's been an independent my entire life, there's not been a whole lot of politicians that I believed and made me hopeful. You make me hopeful. Like, I believe the words coming out of your mouth. I believe that you will go and do the things that you want to do, and I believe that you will go and serve all of the people, not just Jackass and the Elephants. So, like, I once again, I can't thank you enough, because it's awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, that's what it's all about, brother. Service and making sure you're a representative for the people. And many of y'all did it. Thank y'all for y'all's service, your military service, and I know JD did for sure. And that's what this is, a continuation of that.
That's outstanding. I mean, it really is. And Will, I mean, that's 100% true. Like, it is hopeful, right? I mean, like, who wouldn't vote to put Jared into this seat up here? If nothing else, there's a level of, we don't have this in Washington.
Yeah, and I mean, it takes one good person to start the ball rolling. You become an example to one more person who decides to walk through that door that the Lord's opening for them, to make a difference and to serve, and little by little things start to change. But it has to start with one. Yeah. And I'm putting all my eggs in this basket, believing that you're the one that it starts with.
Well, I did have somebody did call. They wasn't able to get on the air because they were actually at work. But I had a question about coal and energy. And what's your thoughts on that, Jared?
Well, without going too much into it, because I haven't spent a lot of time digging into it, again, because I'm not a congressman or a U.S. senator right now. But I am big on energy independence. I think that is I think that's economically something that's smart. Now, how do we go about getting it? How do we go about making sure that we can maintain that independence? I don't know. That's something that I will have to learn. But I am big on energy independence, because that's what makes the world run. And if we're going to still be the top nation in the world and one of the top superpowers, then we've got to make sure that we maintain that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a security thing.
So that would be my 30,000-foot view answer. Do what?
It's a security thing, a national security thing as well, right?
Oh, 100%. It's a national security thing, yeah.
We clearly cannot be dependent on all of these other clowns out there who, for whatever reason, keep giving us this stuff. But at some point they're just waiting. There's somebody just laughing, waiting to turn the switch off.
100%. Because, I mean, here's the thing: if we can't, if we go to war with somebody and we can't power the machines that we have to have, the high-lift Navy that we have to get aircraft in place, guess who's going to lose? We are. And we can't afford that for something as simple as energy independence that we could actually gain. We could actually have energy independence if we were to, probably utilize our own natural resources. So it's 100% a security issue.
I agree. I know we got to go to a break, but my last question before we go to this break.
Well,
You
hey,
were a
Darian.
Navy's. What's up?
Once you ask the question, Jared's going to drop off there. And so, Jared, once you answer this, if you don't mind, tell everybody where to find you, all that sort of stuff. And again, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, man, and you're welcome anytime.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, fellas. We need to get together and shoot sometime. But Hudson for Alabama.com, HudsonForAlabama.com. And just follow us, kind of keep up to date with what we got going on, what we're doing. There's a Twitter, there's a Facebook, there's an Instagram, there's all that. So y'all can check us out on that. And hit me with that last question, brother.
All right. So you said you were a Navy SEAL, correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
So I'm sure there's going to be a certain level of healthy bias towards the men and women that serve our country. So to get their support, what would you tell the great men and women in our armed forces to gather your support?
Oh, yeah. So number one, if you served, you served, right? And that's what military service is. It truly is service. Now, you might have gotten college out of it, or you might have joined so you didn't have to go to jail. I had buddies in the SEAL teams who said that they had an option to go into the Navy or go to jail, right?
Yeah.
So it might have been, you might have had a different motive, but the fact of the matter is if you've served your country in a military role, you have served, and that's something that's honorable. So that's the first thing I would say is send somebody who actually knows what service is to Washington, D.C., as opposed to a career politician who just has political ambition. Now, on the other side of it, there might be military members who decide to jump in this race. There might be. And I would say that, instead of looking at my resume versus theirs, look at the person. It's not what you've done, it's who you are. Look at the person and pick the best person for the job. I believe that I'm that.
Well, all right.
All right. I like that.
Just like that.
I know we do got to wrap things up, but one more time for those who want to get more information and maybe even support the campaign as well, too, and check out all your information as far as platform and what you stand for. Where can they go, Jared?
HudsonForAlabama.com. And if you Google Jared Hudson, it'll pull up stuff that I've been on. Sean Ryan Show, Covenant Rescue Group, any of our nonprofit, all that. You can find me on that, and it'll lead you to it. But if you just go to HudsonForAlabama.com, you can donate from that website. You can find all of our social media stuff.
Hey, Jared, I know you're, because you have so much free time, if you would just go ahead and hit Sean Ryan's hip and tell him we'd love to have him on the show, that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll
he
just
might have to drag you up there to his show. He don't leave Tennessee that often.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Say less.
Yeah, right? That'd be awful.
Yeah. Oh, we got to travel to Tennessee? Oh,
Right.
man.
Hey, we're going to have all your stuff all over all of our socials and our website, man. We appreciate you. We're here if you need us. Godspeed, my friend, and good luck.
Thank you, fellas. God bless y'all.
Yep.
All right,
God
man.
bless you, man.
Tell that family we said hello, and thank you very much for the time.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Let's
Thank
see
you.
y'all.
All right. Let's catch this break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up. It's Breaking Bread, Talk 995.
You're listening to
Noto Roofing, covering things up before we get out of here. If you've got an issue with your roof, reach out to the roofing professionals at Noto Roofing because Noto knows roofing, Noto roofing.com. You were too old to get up on your roof and risk falling and snapping your neck or breaking a limb. You don't heal like you used to. That's why there are roofing professionals, and roofing professionals are Noto Roofing. Tell them the Break and Break crew sent you and get yourself signed up for a risk-free roof evaluation, Noto roofing.com. Wow, I kind of feel bad. Like, I wonder how long Jared was online while I was talking about whether or not people were thought that I was
The entire
Right,
time.
man.
Oh, the entire time.
The entire time.
Sweet.
The whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, might want to go ahead and let's
It's
not
good.
talk
Yeah,
Well,
about
I couldn't
Good
hear.
God-fearing man.
I couldn't. I hear. Hey, man, listen. Look. Things happen. You know what I'm saying? I had issues with my swim trunks. I wanted to know. They were important questions. We got to them.
Very
Well, to be fair, you were
Now
having
the
issues
question
with your-
is, was the pineapples on your shorts, were they upside down?
I was
Because
just
they
gonna
were-
ask, but they're
because if
upside
they
down.
were just
Some of them are definitely
normal,
some of them are definitely upside down and catty cornered and sideways and all that. These are
you've just sent all type of
multi-directional. Yeah, these are
messages.
multi-directional pineapples.
So do you know what? I
on these
chalk
hot
it up to
pink
them to
shorts.
being confused. It wasn't that they weren't like maybe into you and Stephanie.
They were trying to figure you out.
You know, they were
Right.
just like. Now I see that sideways pineapple. Doesn't mean he kind of goes both ways, or you know, like they just didn't know. They didn't
Or he's
know.
just too lazy to turn it all the way over. I mean,
I
who knows?
think what needs to happen is y'all just all need to come down to the lake and we need to do a serious social experiment. You know, y'all can all put the swim trunks on and then wear other
Well, I bring
swim
my own
trunks
swim trunks. We're
and
not
see
carrying swim trunks, right?
and see if
I
see how
can't
many
fit y'all
waves you
swim
get.
trunks.
Yeah.
It's all right, man. You're still young.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Oh man. All right, that's a wrap. For Wednesday.
What a show.
Yes. Don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but the show is going to be GOOD good. Yes, indeed. All right, it is Breaker Bread, JD, AJ, Darian, the Chubb Father. We'll be back again tomorrow. Love everybody. Feed the people.